Today I'm going to talk to you about the lunar surface. Have you ever looked at the moon and wondered what it's made of, or what those dark patches are? The answer is in its surface. And if you study it closely, you'll probably find it very interesting. You probably read in fairy tales that the moon is made out of cheese. But that's totally untrue. It's actually made out of a granite-like rock rich in calcium. But the surface itself is made out of many elements, including from most to least by weight, oxygen, silicon, iron, magnesium, calcium, aluminum, manganese, and titanium. The moon's surface has a varied landscape, just like Earth. However, the moon has a very thin and weak atmosphere called an exosphere, which does not provide any protection from the sun's radiation or impacts from meteoroids. Therefore, meteorites hitting the moon had a large part to play in shaping the lunar mountains, seas, and soil. The light areas of the moon are known as highlands. They are mountains created from the gigantic impacts during the moon's young life. One is even higher than Mount Everest, but with a gentle slope of only 3 degrees. All lunar mountains have gentle slopes due to the way they were formed. The dark features of the moon are known as Maria, which is Latin for seas. When the moon was young, it was volcanically active. As lava flowed across its surface, it swamped some craters and ridges, then cooled to form the moon's seas. These areas are darker than the rest of the lunar surface because the volcanic rock they are made from is full of iron, which is less reflective than other moon materials. Further impacts over the course of billions of years added countless craters, shaping the moon we see today. We can tell how old or new a crater is by observing the number of craters inside it and by observing its rim or impact line. Younger craters have sharper impact lines, while older craters have newer craters in them and have fainter impact lines due to space weathering. There is no air on the moon, but we still have weathering. Weathering is when things break down over time due to exposure to the atmosphere. It can be biological, chemical, or physical. The high-velocity impacts of meteorites and micrometeorites, as well as the cosmic rays and solar wind particles, cause physical and chemical reactions that result in what is known as space weathering. It happens on airless planetary bodies such as the Moon, Mercury, and even on asteroids. Nearly the entire Moon is covered by a rubble pile of charcoal gray, powdery dust, and rocky debris called lunar regolith. Beneath is a region of fractured bedrock referred to as megaregolith. Lunar soil was created from the constant bombardment of micrometeorites on the Moon over the last 4.5 billion years. Micrometeoroids are tiny meteoroids. They are small particles of rock in space that have a maximum dimension of less than 0.5 millimeters and usually weigh less than a gram. This bombardment combined with the lack of wind and rain, has made the soil on the moon sand-like, made up of tiny sharp particles that are abrasive to the touch. Most people probably believe that there is no water on the moon, but they are actually wrong. In 2008, it was discovered that the moon's surface has global hydration and that there are high concentrations of ice water in the permanently shadowed regions of the lunar poles. Scientists also found that the lunar surface releases its water into space when the moon is bombarded by micrometeoroids. And in 2020, it was confirmed that water existed on the sunlit surface of the moon. This discovery indicates that water may be distributed across the lunar surface and not limited to cold, shadowed places. The lunar surface is very interesting. So the next time you see the moon in the sky, make sure to use a telescope or a long zoom camera to view its features up close.